The Deputy President Rigathi Gachagwa's impeachment motion, especially after the public participation at the Bomas of Kenya a few days ago. What transpires when and if he is or he is not impeached? Stay with me to the full video or to the end for you to know the possibilities of the things that might happen. Now, one, if they go ahead and impeach Gachagua, it will still be a plus for the polity, for the citizenry. But again, it will spark another movement. It will spark another rebellion. It will spark other demonstrations. Because remember, the public participation went in the opposite direction. It went against the expectations of the organizers of this motion and this public participation. Remember, there were questions. One, when they were planning the finance bill, there was never public participation that was conducted in the same magnitude as to the impeachment motion was conducted against the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua. Two, when Adani was to take over Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, there was no and still there is no public participation with regards to that effect. Three, when it is prospected that Adani is going to control the chief or share, there is no public participation to that effect. When it is presumed that Adani is to take over Ketraco, Kengen, and the whole of Kenya Power, and also the Mombasa ports, there isn't any public participation. Anyway, what is the use of public participation? The use of public participation is to gather the views of the citizens and table them down and take that back to Parliament. Now, and also try to look deeply between the lines with regards to what majority of the Kenyans or those who attended the public participation event did say. That is the voice of Kenyans. And as you watched and you listened, and as been reported, most of the Kenyans did say, Kufa dereva, Kufa abiria. What does this mean? If Gachagua is impeached, then Ruto is also impeached. There is no one whom we can say their linen is a little bit dirty. There is no way you could say that the deputy president is somehow much dirtier than the president. There is no way you can say the president is much better than the deputy president. So this is happening in the first term of them being elected in office, different from what happened between Ruto and his then boss, who was the president of Kenya, that is Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Their conflict began in the second term of their presidency. Now, I've told you what to prospect if Rigathi is impeached. Now, possibly it will spark a movement that either way might be very successful in terms of ousting President William Ruto, or they may fail. If the movement fails, and my prediction is that the best suited candidate with regards to their views. Now remember, here we are trying to dissect politics. We are not going to get into morals who is the better candidate. But the better candidate, as according to them, is Kithure Kindiki, whom they plan to replace Rigathi Gachagua. One, how will this work to the benefit of William Samoei Ruto? Remember, I did this video over here saying how the games will go and how Mount Kenya might just be sold back to Ruto. They'll now use Kindiki to be launching these projects. And we've seen Kindiki already doing that. And they will come and say it is him pressuring and fighting for the projects and resources that were either all the projects that were either begun by the former president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, now for those projects to be completed, and also more projects to be undertaken within Mount Kenya region. Then the Mount Kenya will be told, you see, we've done this using your son who is Kithure Kindiki, we've done this. So the polity might be easily squashed and hoodwinked into voting back of the duo. Otherwise, if Gachagua is not impeached, either way, we're still going to pass through a hefty time. Mark you, he is apologized. And more than often, when you apologize, the norm is that you are on the wrong. Even if you are not on the wrong, but so long as you apologize, it means you are on the wrong. And that is why you offered the apology. So, why did Gachagua take so long with his apology before the public participation? He had all the time to do that. Why wait for the public participation to happen? What game is the government playing? Now, that is why I come and ask these questions. You got to ask the government to be so accountable. We need to know how much was used to organize that public participation activity. You got to know how much of the taxpayers' money came from the treasury to fund that public participation. You'll be surprised. Morara, here is a task for you. If you have any good sources who can dig deeper and get to know how much, because this is something that should be in public. We demand, because it is our right to know how much was used to organize that event. It could just be another looting scheme. You understand it? So it might be that this conflict is artificial. It is something that has been pre-planned. And mark you, there are rumors. And whenever there are rumors, there's a little bit of truth. That within this hullabaloo, there's a time that the President, William Samoei Ruto, did a visit Rigathi Gachagua in his current residence. And they did had some chit-chat. You understand it? So the only person who is being played as a fool is we, the citizens. If Gachagua is not impeached, it means something was being hidden. Remember, we've had so much happening, and there is a dose that had to be injected so that our attention is diverted fully into this bigger issue of the president falling out with his deputy, so that we give time for other things like Adani taking over the airport and other amenities in the nation belonging to the public, because that is our taxes that have been putting up all these infrastructures and amenities. So it belongs to the Kenyans. Therefore, as that looting scheme continues, you are being injected with a heavy dose. So all your focus is shifted toward this and you forget about the other one. But now, what the government is forgetting, they are dealing with a very diligent generation. A very diligent generation that is looking up into issues, deep into issues that are happening in the parliament. Now, when your attention is diverted, remember already there is a bill that has been tabled in parliament to increase the presidential term from 5 years to 7 years term. Do you know about that? You just know the rumors about it. But actually it has been tabled in parliament to increase the presidential term. And what does this mean? It means if the presidential term is increased by 7 years, also the MPs all the representatives, MCAs, women representative, governors, members of parliament, senators, all of them, their term limit is going to be increased from 5 to 7 years. Within 5 years, you are already suffering with a regime. What about 7 years? You are going to be milk dry as Kenyans. So, therefore, let us remain vigilant and continue to fight for the nation. Viva! Let us continue injecting. And as the common term has come, Kufa Dereva, Kufa Abiria. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the unscripted talks here in Dub Radio. If you love content of this nature and you are watching from our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live, you'll be the very first person to be notified. If you're watching from our Facebook page, kindly follow our Facebook page for regular updates. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.